points and how they affect your Indiana driver's license. So I have with me today Matt Crows. Matt is the driver's license attorney here at the Marc Lopez law firm. So every attorney here, we know a lot about driver's license issues, but inside the law firm, Matt is the go-to guy. So Matt, walk us through the point system.
Yeah, so basically Indiana has adopted a point system with driver's licenses. Basically the purpose of it is to identify drivers who basically need to drive better. So in other words, each offense or each little traffic violation that you have has a certain amount of points associated with it. For example, a speeding ticket could be anywhere from 2 points to 6 points, depending on how fast you're going. And then there's obviously other criminal offenses such as DUIs, leaving the scene of an accident, some of those things that are a little bit more severe, if you will, all the way up to 10 points if it's like a DUI causing death or serious bodily injury.
Okay, Matt, so everyone hears about driver's license points in my record. What is the purpose of having points?
The purpose of having points is the BMV can basically kind of keep check on everybody. The more points that you have, the more likely it is that you need to learn how to drive better. So the BMV is going to start imposing some license suspensions based on how many points you have. So ultimately what it's going to do is once you hit 14 points, and this is in a 2-year period, once you hit 14 points, from 14 to 18, BMV is going to send you a notice. Hey, knock it off. You're driving like a punk. You gotta calm down a little bit. Future points against you could result in a license suspension. And then once you hit that 20 points, the BMV is going to say, okay, that's enough. 20 points over 2 years, you lose your license for a month. And then it gets substantially worse the more points you accumulate over that 2-year period.
Matt, let's do a little pop quiz to see if you really are all I claim you to be for driver's license. Okay, Matt, I'm going 17 miles an hour over the speed limit. I hire an attorney and he's terrible. He can't help me. How many points if I get convicted?
4.
Ooh, nice. Okay, let's do this. What if I get a speeding ticket and the speed is not indicated in the tickets? That's thrown out, right?
No, 2 points.
2 points. So okay. I mean, if you hire, you need to hire the best attorney if you want, something like that. Okay, how about this? DUI conviction of 0.08. What is that going to be?
Just a DUI 0.08, the per se number, you're going to get 8 points for that. It could creep all the way up to 10 if there's serious bodily injury or death.
You get into an accident and turns out you didn't have insurance. So now you have a violation of financial responsibility. How many points is that?
It's all going to depend. If it's just a violation of financial responsibility, that's a 2-point offense. But if there's an accident and there's injury, then you start getting up into, depending on how bad the injury is, up to potentially 10 points.
What about if you're driving a school bus and you fail to stop at the railroad crossing?
If you are driving a school bus and you fail to stop at railroad crossing, that's actually a major offense for a school bus driver, 8 points.
It's the same as a DUI. I mean, that's intense right there. Okay, Matt, we'll put a link to all the points that a person can get. And, like you said, they range everywhere. 2 points, 10 points, a bunch in there. I mean, you violate operating without ever having received a license, 6 points. Not quite as bad as not stopping at the railroad tracks. Okay, Matt, when do points recycle? So how long do points stay on your record?
Points will stay on your record for 2 years. So it's not every 2-year cycle. So if, I get this ticket and then all of a sudden, in 2 years, everything resets. It's just a rolling 2-year period. So a ticket I get today will fall off 2 years from today. Everything subsequent will fall off 2 years from whatever date you pick it up.
Now, Matt, if someone's picking up too many points, if they get that, so how many points does a person get that letter from the BMV says they're on probation?
So you're going to get a letter from the BMV between 14 and 18 points. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, we've got you on our so-called watch list. You got to cut it out. You got to improve your driving habits now. And then once you start hitting 20 points, that's when you start getting administratively suspended from the BMV. 20 points is going to get you a month, 22 points, 2 months, so on and so forth.
And I'm looking at that 42 points, you lose your license for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone who's watching this, they're getting too many points. Is there a way they can reduce the points on their driver's license?
There sure is. You could do in Indiana what's called the driver safety program. You could do that either online or in person, and that will get rid of 4 points. The caveat, though, is you can only do one driver safety program for a point reduction in every 3-year period. So you could do driver safety program every day of your life if you really wanted to. I don't know why. It's just going to cost you a lot of money, but only one time in a 3-year period can you actually get that 4-point reduction.
If anybody watching this has any questions about the points, the Indiana driver's license, any kind of question about what they need to do to drive legally in the state, give us a call, 317-632-3642. This law firm never said, hey, we want to be the traffic law firm. But because we've done so many DUIs, we have become extremely knowledgeable in driver's license and how to get people back on the road. Matt, do you have any parting thoughts for anybody watching this?
No matter how bad your driver's license can be or how bad your driving record might look like, there's always a way back. It's never lost hope. It's never a situation where you're never going to drive again. That's why it's very important to give us a call. Sometimes it's as quick as, hey, pay a couple of tickets. Sometimes it's more in depth as, hey, we got to go to multiple counties and talk to multiple judges to try and get you back on the road. But there's never lost hope.
If anybody has any questions, give us a call, 317-632-3642. And remember, always plead the fifth.